Alright guys, I'm pretty pumped on this one. So out here at QMP today, Brisbane Motorcycles hooked us up with 4 450s. So we got the Kawi, brand new show off the showroom floor at Brisbane Motorcycles, Yamaha 450, Honda, and the Husqvarna. So I've always wanted to do a test, a shootout. I've seen them in the magazine since I was a kid and always wanted to sort of do my own and check it out. So awesome opportunity to be able to do it with these guys. And yeah, the Kawi is brand new off the showroom floor, the same as the Husky. The Yamaha is Zane Dunlop, so he's another pro racer. We've got him to as close to stock as we sort of could for this, but a Yamaha still feels like a Yamaha, Honda still feels like a Honda, even if there is a couple small changes. So I think it's just like, we've both got different size bars. So Zane's got the SX race bend on his, I've got the Carmichael bend on mine. We've both got our suspension revalve. But as far as everything else, I think Zane's got a map and an ignition in his, but mine's bog stock, everything other than suspension. So yeah, we're definitely going to be able to still run through, go out a few different tracks here. So I think there's 3 different tracks. We'll try to just find the best sort of race condition one, because that's how I sort of want to find it. And yeah, we'll see what I like about each one. I've got my Pippler too, so we're going to chuck lap times on each. I'm hoping that I'm faster on my bike, because I should be, but we'll see. I've always liked the Yamaha, and I did do that Kawi shoot last year, which I was actually faster on the Kawi than my own bike at the KTM. So anyway, we'll get into it. I'm pumped for it. Alright, so I had to adjust some levers and stuff like that, because Zane runs his levers down at his knees. Yeah, so each bike I've just sort of done some minor adjustments just with bars, levers and stuff like that. Just, yeah, get it as similar, as close to what I want as possible. Head out there, we'll do sag and stuff like that as well. Then head out and yeah, it'll be a lot more fair, I guess, between all the bikes. So how I want to work it is we're going to do probably like 5 to 10 minutes warm up on each bike, just get a quick little feel out, and then I'll go in and start doing some lap times, get the lap times down, because I find it's like only when you start pushing to sort of your pace that you really start to get the feel of what the bike's going to do under you. So that's how I'm going to try to work it, see how it goes. They keep putting sprinklers on out here, so we'll try to work around it. Initial feelings, I guess, like on the Honda, even though I've been riding it, just turns so well, but sometimes it's almost like it overdoes it, like it's super heavy in the front, and occasionally, like the track today, like it's good spots where it's real tacky, but then it goes super slick, and in those spots it sort of has a tendency to like be a bit twitchy and tuck in a little. But yeah, I'm going to go now and do a few sprints just to get a bit of a time, and then we can compare it to the other bikes after. Honestly, because of all the trouble I had with the KTM last year, I wasn't overly confident that I was going to really like this bike, but holy hell, the engine package on this thing is unreal. It's like you come out of the corner in like a 3rd gear or 4th gear, roll on the throttle is just so much torque. It's like, oh, and just, you pretty well don't even have to change gears, just keep it up there and torque it around the track. It's unreal. And then also the rear end traction exiting a turn is really good. Front end is a bit skatey, but rear end is like unreal out of the turn. So initial is actually, I'm pretty comfortable on it. Like, it feels really good. Sweet, I'll get into some sprints. Man, that actually surprised me, hey?
Yeah.
Man, I feel so comfortable on this. It's like, it does feel big and like I've got to move a lot on the bike. Like front to back, it feels like braking I've got to be way back, and then entering I've got to be way forward. Whereas the Honda, I'm sort of in the one spot, but I just felt like I could turn, I could accelerate, I could brake hard, and I was faster. I did a 130.9, so 0.7 faster than a Honda. I do think the track's a little bit better now, because I've run a couple lines in, plus like that bit of water gave it a little bit extra traction. But this thing, the engine is just, man, it's just so much fun. I just don't want to stop. Just like come out of the corner, just like whoa, it just like hooks up so well. But if you just wanted something to, I think just like fun to ride, this bike's unreal. Like, it's just so nice.
Still got 2 more to go.
2 to go. So this is the strongest engine now. Holy hell, it's like, the Husky's still crazy strong. It's just a little bit different. It's like, Husky's all torque, whereas, and it sort of still feels a little bit like a heavy power. Like you come out and it's like, whoa. Whereas this one feels real light, so it gets up to the power quicker. It's still torquey, but it's like, whoa. Like it just gets there really fast and just like really aggressive. It's sick. It's like, it's a lot of fun to ride.
Zane did say it had that map in, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that map probably helps. I know the Yemis do have this feel a bit more, because I have ridden a stock one before, like full stock. But this just complements it. Yeah, it feels really good. It definitely feels like a bigger bike, like sort of when you're just like cruising around on it. But when you attack it, it still seems to plant, like the front end's fairly planted. It's not like it's big in the way of like, when you hit a bump, it doesn't feel heavy.
Right up, we got the battle.
Yeah, like when it hits a bump, it doesn't feel heavy at all. It just feels bigger. But it doesn't take too much to muss around. Like it doesn't feel like a scary bike to ride. So go do my sprints on it now. I feel fairly comfortable, but my times then weren't too great. I think they're around 34s. But again, it wasn't a sprint, so we'll see once I actually put some effort in. 30.2.
Is that the fastest?
I think so, yeah, that's fastest. Yeah. This thing is like in the big ruts, the big deep ruts that hook and stuff, the stability is where this is strong. And then even like the bumps, like the bigger bumps and like the more race style stuff, I think, like heavier dirt, like the slippery stuff, it's not as good. Definitely slides more, it's like there's more weight, like pushing it out. But the heavier the dirt that you really get into and accelerate, it's like it just feels like the bike doesn't move, it's just planted and you can just line up a rut so easy. It feels like if I got more and more and more comfortable with this, I could go faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it just super planted. It was really good. Again, super fun to ride. And like it sounds so sick. They're like different, like the Honda's got the little pea shooter pipe on it, whereas this thing's just like, because it sucks through the air box at the top here too, it's just like sounds like it's just like a rocket. It's like So initial thoughts on the Kawi, it feels rigid compared to the other bikes. Like just, it feels stiff and like all the hard little bumps, you feel them all, but the power's like way more usable. It's like real mellow. So like, it's sort of like user friendly, I guess. I don't know. Like it doesn't feel like a big bike. Like it doesn't feel like 450 aggressive power. It's like way more mellow, so you can get a little bit more aggressive like with your technique and your style, like with your throttle. Because the bike isn't like that aggressive, so you can get more aggressive. So I think like you got to ride a little more 250 style, like get aggressive and attack a little bit more. But I'll have to try to do that for these sprint laps and see how I go. I just got a 32.9 then, so not too bad. That's one of my better like just normal laps. So we'll put in a heater and see what we get. 31.3. Just, I started to feel really good like in the ruts on this, but I'm just struggling to get into them. So I think like a track with a bit more traction, this thing would be awesome, because it feels lighter. Like it feels like, not lighter, it just feels like you can throw it around a little bit easier than some of the others. Yeah, I still think I want a little bit more power though. And then just, if you could get it to come into the turns a little bit nicer. But yeah, it's my least favourite of the four for sure. Yeah. Because I like that corner, like the slippery corner, I was so tentative. I like didn't know where the front tyre was. Yeah, yeah, compared to the others. I love the look though. Like the green looks.
I actually was gonna say that to you. The green looks good, especially with just like black setup.
Yeah, I like the green. The green looks sick. Okay, so rather than rating them 1 through 4, which originally I was planning to do, I'm going to break it down more so to categories, because I think each bike does something a little bit better and it'd be hard to put a specific number on it. Just this bike's better than all the rest. So just turning on a dime, front end traction, just want to steer really well, the Honda. Okay, that front end is super heavy, and that's where that bike shines. So that would be my pick there. And then overall stability, so high speed, lining up ruts over bumps and stuff like that, that's where the Yamaha. So if you really like a stable bike, 100% that Yamaha sits on the ground so well, it's just so planted. Moving on from there, so just a bike to just go ride and have a ball on. Straight out of the box, the Husky. So for me today, I was blown away. That rear end traction was so good. You can ride hard, crappy tracks and you'll still get a bunch of traction. You could still turn it in well. Power was nice and torquey and forgiving. So that Husky for me, if I was just gonna go pick one just to go have a play on, just go ride, it would be the Husky. And the Kawi, it was a little bit harder for me because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like it was not my favorite bike. But if I'm gonna pick somewhere where it did something really well, I would just say is that mid-turn. So once you're in the turn, once you've lined up the rut, you can get in there and you can steer it sort of however you like. So, and the power, if you're somebody who wants a 450 but doesn't want something to rip out of your hands, actually that would be where you'd want the Kawi. Whereas myself, I like that nice, strong, torquey power, so it wasn't really for me. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna wrap it up there. Massive thank you to Brisbane Motorcycles for allowing us to ride the bikes. Zane for coming out, lending me his bike. Michaela for standing out in the sun and filming all day. It was super hot today, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one and we'll see you in the next one. Yeah, backflip. Yeah, he actually did it. Oh, the boys are pumped.